My name is Arin Lindauer, and you're listening to A Life Without Struggle. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 wonderful children, a 2-time best-selling author, and a highly driven and successful entrepreneur. In my 17-plus year career as a mindset and health expert, I know what holds women back from a life you only dream about. Whether you're a CEO, a businesswoman, or executive, I started this podcast because I have been where you are, and I know you want and deserve more out of your life. I believe women are limitless. We just get lost along the way. The process to get you there is the topic and purpose of this podcast. When you understand what you want, you can truly step into a life without struggle. Welcome, and I'm so thankful you're here. Welcome back to another episode of Life Without Struggle. Today I've got a good one for you and excited to really speak into this topic. It's a pretty deep topic and I'm going to get pretty heavy with you here. But the title of this podcast is Don't Ever Give Up on Yourself. Ever. So this is something that I don't even know. I don't even know how anyone gives up, okay? Like, what is that characteristic? What is that trait? Why does that happen for some people and not for others? For myself personally, giving up isn't even in my wheelhouse. So this was a topic that I had to spend some time on, that I had to spend some reflection and thinking. And I've been asking just a few people in my sphere of influence. And it's something that I either see people who give up literally all the time. I see some people who won't even start on themselves because they know that they'll give up so easily. And so I wanted to dig deeper into this topic and why don't ever give up on yourself? All right. So This topic comes because I feel very, very strongly about women in weight loss and women in getting after any goal that they desire in their life. Of course, it's going to take work. Of course, it's going to take time. But why is one woman so quick to just say, hands in the air, I can't do this, this is too hard? And I have a lot of thoughts around this, and I want to share this because I want this to be that fire under your butt that you're like, hey, Arin, I'm right there with you, or sweet, yeah, not giving up now, like you just gave me that insight that I needed. So here's the deal. Anytime we're going after a goal, it doesn't just come easy. It isn't that there aren't things that are going to challenge you. But it's all our perspective and how those challenges impact us. Okay, listen, there's a lot of things that happen in a woman's life that could absolutely derail her, but they don't. Or if they do, what do you do now? Okay, so how we handle struggle is truly everything. Now, I can appreciate a time and space in my life that I did want to give up. But the thing is, I didn't. There were so many times that I wanted to end it all. I was so frustrated. I didn't understand why I felt, and it was a very out-of-body experience for me. I'm thankful, though, to have the tenacity and the purpose that I didn't even knew existed, but I knew existed. And I think this is in most women. Actually, I know this is in most women. We all have this higher purpose. We all have this higher power inside of us that chugs us along, that gets us up another day despite everything that's going on in your world. Okay? That, my friends, is called discipline. And when we're in a weight loss journey, sometimes we have to dig a little bit deeper than we want to. And here's the thing that I'm going to tell you, that a lot of things in life aren't going to be easy. They're going to challenge you to think differently, to act differently. But what I'm here to say is you can never give up on the process. If something isn't going your way, there has to be another way. So many times in business, I have asked these questions like, dang, why was it so simple and easy at this time and space, and now this time and space it like feels really, really challenging? And then it comes full circle again, and I think that's the reality of our life. I think that's the reality of gaining the knowledge and the tools that, reasonably speaking, things were challenging, then they became easy. Then things became challenging, and then things became easy. I guarantee if you would look back objectively over your life, you can see that pattern. And it's really everything, the resiliency that we have and the willingness that we have to figure things out. See, the problem that I see is when it gets hard, some women just crumble. And that's okay. Listen, I get it. I get it. At different seasons, we do crumble, okay? But it's how many times do you get back up? So believe me, I have thrown the pity parties. I have been there before in my life. But it's how many times can you get yourself back up because you know what you want, just maybe haven't found the right solution. So when I dig into this topic here today, what I am really referencing is a woman not giving up on herself when it comes to her health and wellness goals. So this message is for the woman who is right on that edge that is saying, oh my gosh, it's been getting tough. I've been having a few hard weeks. This has been a little more challenging than I would have liked. And this message is for you to really light a fire under your butt and say, girl, your goals are important, that you do need to keep showing up for you. Maybe that doesn't mean this week and the next week the scale goes down, but it means you stay disciplined to the process. Continue to fuel your body. Continue to move your body appropriately. Continue to reach out to the people that you have enlisted to be your support, to be your accountability partner, okay? It's going to get hard. Any journey that we go on, you're going to have a bump in the road. I would love to tell you that every time a woman enlists me to coach them on weight loss, that everything is perfect and they lose weight perfectly and nothing ever goes wrong. Yeah, that's a whole big lie. But what's important is this is part of the journey. This is like, I wish business was just perfect, that I just perfectly acquired new customers, that my marketing always hit, that my messaging was always on point. Listen, you're going to have some flops. You're going to have some failures. But the only time you fail is when you don't learn. So I'm here to spread this message today that you can never give up on yourself. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you want to learn how to sew or to whatever, speak a different language. You don't give up. You just keep working at it. Okay. I'm reminded of this daily. I've got one child that's learning to read. The other one is putting letters together and how to form them. And I'll tell you what, it is very, very challenging to be someone who knows how to write, who knows how to read, to listen to the struggle, right? And no one wants to see their child struggle, but it's part of the journey. If I tell them how to do it every single step of the way, they're never going to learn. Okay. So we have to embrace our struggles and embrace the challenging times in our life and truly show ourselves how well we can handle the challenge when it comes to us. Almost get, I don't know if fired up is the word, but get excited to see how well you can navigate this. There's so many times in my life that I've looked back and been like, man, that was really stressful. That was really hard. And then it's like life has a way of kind of presenting other things to you. And you're like, oh, dang, this is kind of tough too. But I look at this stuff a little bit differently. And I think this is a lot of growing up. This is a lot of life experiences. You know, some things are going to derail one person more than they would another. What I truly think that is is how many things have you experienced in your life? Not that this is a pissing contest over here, but this is more what you have been through has really shaped who you are today. Some of us have been through more things. It's not, again, not tick for tack, but it's really something that I want most women to understand, that when you look at another woman, you're like, man, she just handles things so well. Guess what? I guarantee she's been around the block a couple times. Okay. The other thing that I want to speak into when it comes to never giving up, and part of never giving up is staying so dang focused on the outcome, the end result, what you desire. Here's the problem that I see with women in weight loss is we freaking see a squirrel and we literally start running that direction. Okay. Now, here's the deal. There are so many different theories, thoughts, do this, try that, this works, that works when it comes to weight loss. At the end of the day, I will tell you, yes, there are some nuances, but reasonably speaking, we have to make sure that our energy input is less than our energy output, and you will see results, okay? Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than any of us would desire. Same with me. I mean, think about me as a coach, and I'm watching every single week to see the scale move too, right? And when the scale doesn't move, it is perplexing. It is frustrating, even for myself, to see that for a woman. But we always have to stay so wildly objective and understanding that sometimes things hold, sometimes things move perfectly the way we want them, and everything in between. So the biggest thing that I want women to understand in this journey is you have to be disciplined to the process. Okay, this isn't about willpower. This is about showing up for you. This is about showing up for you and what you want and you desire, and you're freaking worth it. Okay, you're worth it. I don't care what you've been through. You deserve to feel good in your own skin. Okay, whatever story you are telling yourself that you don't deserve to eat well, that you have to fall victim to every emotion and every feeling that you have. And listen, I know I'm coming at you heavy here, but here's the deal. You're better than that. Okay? You're better than that. Sometimes we have to be told this, that we can show up for ourselves because we desire a certain outcome. And it's okay to look in that mirror and say, man, I really want this to be different and that to be different, because here's the cool thing. It's possible. It is absolutely possible. When you show up for yourself all day, every day, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is really important part of the journey, but I will tell you, you are going to have to make changes. The problem is so many women get like really fired up, and then all of a sudden it gets challenging and they're just like, screw it. This doesn't work. When in reality, it's not that this doesn't work. It's you gave up. And that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves as a coach, is seeing someone give up, because they didn't give up on me. They didn't give up on someone else. They gave up on themselves. And that is a very, very dangerous place to be. Okay, so I am speaking to women today to say, dang it, your goals are possible. Okay, but you've got to draw the line in the sand and relentlessly show up for you. No one else is going to do this for you. No one. Okay, listen, you can inject yourself, you can take some fancy pills, and reasonably speaking, you will probably see some results, but I'll tell you, that's not for life. Okay, that is not a slam. I am all about medicines and technologies to help us advance ourselves. But if you don't learn the things that you need to do when it comes to eating food in moderation, eating food to fuel your body, moving your body a reasonable amount. So many of us are so dang sedentary. And I promise you, if you would just take a moment for yourself, I don't care what your day-to-day looks like, you're worth taking some time to decompress, to burn some calories, get some good endorphins going, and you're going to be a much better person after something like that. I don't ever want to be so darn busy that I can't take care of myself. Actually, I know I would never let that even happen. And I don't even spend hours taking care of myself. I'm extremely efficient. So what that means is every single day I fuel my body appropriately. I look at food very, very different than most people. I look at food and say, cool, what is this going to do for my body? And then, do I indulge in things? Do I have cookies? Do I have sweets? Absolutely. But it doesn't define me. I am not reliant upon it. It is a nice treat. That's why it's called a treat. It's not meant to be every day, every emotion, every celebration, okay? It's okay to eat a whole slice of cake, but when we're in weight loss mode, you have to consider doing things a little bit differently so that we can get to a point of maintenance. So this message comes to you today to be that inspiration, to be that guiding light, that hope, that you're on the right track. You're showing up every day for you because you are so darn worth it. It's also a message to say, hey girl, what have you not considered that could possibly be doing? So many of us women play small. There's so much more that we can do and impact, and I know that it starts with taking care of your health. The other thing is don't ever give up on your dreams. So I'm going to segue into this because this is another thing that I see happen in women. Not only do they give up on themselves when it comes to weight loss and having the body that they desire because they simply just won't show up for themselves, okay? But I also see women snuffle, stifle, blow out any dreams and aspirations because who is she? Who am I to desire these things? Who am I to create a totally different business model? Who am I to open an entirely different line of business or communication? Or who am I to go to my boss and say, hey, I really think we could do this. I've worked out the numbers, I've worked out the behind the scenes, and I really think this could be a viable option to the company. But we don't come up with these new ideas. Don't even go to our own partner or spouse and say, hey, I had this idea the other day, and I really think that we could make this happen. Reasonably speaking, I've got this all figured out, and, we're going to have to work a little bit harder here in the meantime. Listen, the other day, I saw a GoFundMe account. I saw a GoFundMe account for someone who was desiring to go on stage and do a bodybuilding competition. And so if you've ever done a bodybuilding competition, there's the fees to enter the competition. There's certainly fees for the outfit. There's fees for having coaching, and then certainly all the food, the gym memberships. I mean, just your time is a whole nother piece. And I saw a GoFundMe account for this person who desired to do a bodybuilding competition. And I instantly saw that and just cringed. Like when I think GoFundMe, I think someone is absolutely down on their luck. Someone got an absolutely horrific diagnosis and they can't afford their medical bills. I look at that and I'm like, who is going to give money to someone who just wanted to go on stage and get their body to a certain... I'm like, I couldn't even comprehend it. And I was just like, are we so weak as a society that we won't roll up our sleeves, go get a part-time job, and figure out how to pay our way to do something that we desire? That's like me putting out a GoFundMe because I want to go on vacation. Like, I'm sorry, not going to do that. Okay, now that I've probably ruffled everybody's feathers listening to this, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because I was just like, have we completely let go of personal responsibility? I mean, think about that. Why is it anybody else's problem to take care of something that we desire? And I guarantee you could find enough money sitting in your closet should you decide to sell some things. Or maybe there's some things that have been sitting on the shelf that, you know what, if you put together enough $20 items, you could create enough money. So when did we become so soft that we don't take personal responsibility for all the things that we desire in our life? And so I want you to hang with this message and think about this. Where do I need to take personal responsibility in my life to get the desired outcome that I want? Where have I been sitting small? Where do I need to consider things done maybe a little bit differently? It's big questions to ask yourself. Too many times I feel like we get up and we do the same darn thing every single day because we think we have to do things this way. And reasonably speaking, sometimes we do. Like, this is just how it ticks, how it works. But it's also another thing to go, man, if this isn't serving me, what could I do differently? What have I not considered that when I consider it, it really holds some truth? And sometimes we need to sit with things and not have the instant gratification of the scale moving. Maybe we need to sit and really look objectively at our week and go, man, I probably could have done a better job here and here. And yeah, I guess, the scale's not up, so that's a win, but the scale would be down had I done a little bit better in this moment. So own your results. Own your results in life. I will die knowing that I gave everything I could possibly give. And even that is probably not going to be enough, but I'm sure going to go down with the best of them because I know that every single day I show up with intensity and discipline and desire for the things that I want in my life. And I want this message to reach women at a time where you're like, dang girl, wow, can I just have an ounce of that? Because here's the cool thing, you can. It's all inside of you. Have to unleash her. Ever is keeping you small, figure it out. Typically it's ourself. Been telling ourselves a story. Someone said something years and years and years ago and we held on to it like it's truth. Or maybe it's a thought that you put on yourself, that you cannot have the things that you desire. Cool thing about that one is as quickly as you can identify it, quickly let it go. So get super, super excited about what's next for you. Get so dang excited about the process that every single day, it's not going to be rainbows and unicorns and sunshine, that someday it's going to rain. And guess what? Every time we wish for it not to rain, somebody else is hoping it will so that their crops grow better. So always think about it this way. When you're having a tough time, remember all those good times that you had, and that good times are coming again. Every challenge that presents itself is an opportunity to see how well you can navigate it. If a loved one goes in the hospital, how well can you support and be there and love them through that moment in time and space? It doesn't mean you lose yourself. Maybe you're going to have to pack some food. Maybe you're going to have to walk the halls, okay? Maybe you're going to have to do things just a little bit differently. Maybe work is completely uprooting and changing, and people are going to be affected that you care about. Ask yourself, how well can I navigate this and still take care of my body and still see weight loss? Because I deserve to see my results, even though times are a little bit challenging right now. How well can I navigate my life? How happy can I be in all moments? Because our emotions are choices. We get to choose how we feel on a daily basis. And I will tell you that when you choose happiness, when you choose a positive attitude, when you choose personal responsibility, is probably one of the most freeing spaces I think I have ever felt. I no longer feel captive by having to respond to family in a certain way because it's my life and I get to choose how I react in moments. I don't have to please people just because they want me to do things a certain way. And it's okay for them to be a little disappointed because I'm staying true to myself. That one's a tough one, okay? That was a tough one. That was a challenging one for myself to figure out, but I'll tell you, it can be a very freeing space. But at the end of the day, the strongest message I could ever send to any woman is don't ever give up on yourself. I don't care what your goal is and what you desire. Obviously, you know I'm speaking into weight loss. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. There's just something else that we need to uncover. And 9 times out of 10, just need to do the things a little bit longer, meaning sleep, drink water, move your body, eat reasonably well. And guess what? Hormones do balance on their own. I am living proof, and I have watched this hundreds, almost thousands of times in coaching women, that when we are searching for a problem, guess what? A problem presents itself. When we are searching for solutions, guess what? Solutions present themselves. Be solution focused. Stay in possibility. When it gets hard, dig in even deeper and double down on you. That's one thing that I will tell you. Anytime I've been through challenging times in my life, what I have found to work best for me is I double down on taking care of myself. This is when I focus on getting really good sleep. This is when I really focus in on my health. This is when I focus in on getting really lean. And I can tell you that you handle life with much more grace, much more ease when you double down on you. It's never been a better time to take care of you, ladies. And don't ever give up, ever. It's not in you. It's not in you. Okay? It's not part of our DNA. It's not part of our DNA. So stay disciplined to the things that you want in your life, and I promise you they will all come full circle. Go get them.